All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular council meeting for Monday, December 8th. I'd like to call this meeting to order. The town of Elk Point respectfully acknowledges that our community and workplace are situated on Treaty 6 territory, traditional lands of First Nations and Métis people. This evening, we do have a delegation joining us. We have representation from Portage College. We have the president and CEO, Stephen Price, the outgoing president and CEO, Nancy Broadbent, and Sandy Bishop from KELP right here in Elk Point. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So we wanted to begin. I got a little agenda, and but I start by congratulating everyone on their reappointments or re-elections, and also the new folks. It's a lot of work getting through that election process, and communities like Elk Point and others would be very honored to have folks willing to step up into the leadership role. So thank you. I also want to thank you for allowing us to come to one of your early meetings as we are making our transition. And the main purpose for tonight really is for us to provide a little bit of an update on the college, but for you to meet Dr. Price, who has taken over and is doing great things already. So we've got some data to share, but I want to start by allowing Dr. Price just to introduce himself.
Thanks, Nancy. Hi, everyone, your worship and councillors. So Steve Price, just call me Steve. I'm so excited to be at Portage College. The opportunity to come back to my roots a little bit. I grew up in Fort McMurray. And my dad was a hunter and a fisherman. And so we spent so many times throughout this region. When I was in high school, I was then an athlete coming and competing against the athletes in this region. And then I became a school teacher and went back to Fort McMurray and taught up there for 7 years, during which time I brought athletes to this region. And so I've been down the last 25 years in Calgary, working at Mount Royal University, living out in Cochrane. And when the opportunity came to basically move into this role in Portage and in these communities, to be like Lac La Biche, Cold Lake, but Elk Point, Boyle, St. Paul, and the connections to the First Nations that Portage has, just was something. My role as a dean at Mount Royal was working really closely with some elders and helping to help Indigenous students with their pathway through university, but also how to give back to those communities. So in Tsuut'ina Nation, in Siksika, out in Stoney Nakoda, on the various bands out there. When I heard about how Portage actually has campuses in Frog Lake, in Saddle Lake, in Whitefish, Goodfish Lake, the work that this college is doing is just something that is just so honoring. And so the chance to come and be a part of that team. I do want to pause and recognize Nancy. And so like I have big shoes to fill, and not lost on me the things that Nancy has done with the culture of the college, with the community and the relationships. She's 6 years as president, but over 35 years in the Portage community, working for the college in many, many roles. And I've just been so honored the last 2.5 months that I've been able to meet with Nancy and to learn from her. And this coming to your council is just one further example of Nancy's retired. She retired 2 weeks ago, but yet she's been willing to still come and introduce me to the various councils and the conversations we have while we're driving here. I just feel like a student just learning and trying to soak up as much as we can. So these presentations are as much as my learning. I get to see the same slides 5 times, which helps me. But do ask questions, because whatever questions you ask will help me as well, because it'll be Nancy and Sandy who have all the answers. So it's great to meet everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. So just quickly into the numbers. The college is still in a growth phase, although probably going to level off and start to decrease a bit in 26, 27. And largely that's been because of the dramatic growth that we've had in international students. I'm sure that you've been following the news and know the state of, for starting with the feds and then the province, and really trying to focus more on our own youth, domestic youth. But we do have over 1,500 students in the campuses across the region. And about 150 of those are in St. Paul. And when I looked at over the 5-year average, we had about 40 students from Elk Point, mostly attending in St. Paul or our online programs. So that's over 5 years. But annually, we employ over 370 employees in the region. About 26 of those are in St. Paul. And Sandy is right here in Elk Point. And we spend about $38 in delivery. So we had done an economic impact study a number of years ago. This was one that all the post-secondaries contributed to. And this is old data, but it does show you sort of a minimal number, because since that year that we did the study, our spending's gone up by about 26%, and the student enrollment has doubled. And both the spending by the students and the spending by us is what's driving the economic impact. That's mainly for new council members to see. I'm gonna turn over to Steve to talk a little bit about some of the new programs and the upcoming programs.
Yeah, thanks, Nancy. It's, as Nancy mentioned, the student enrollment is climbing, and part of that is in existing programs, but part of the excitement around the college is some of the new programs. So the slide on programs gives you some examples. We're in the process of developing an addiction certificate program, which we think will have really good uptake and opportunity to really help provide the training, provide the skills for those working in that space. I'm pausing because I was watching football with my sons are in Calgary, but we basically are setting up a text chat room while the football games are on Sunday. And my sons are addicted to gambling. And it's just like the nature of addictions crosses the lifespan, but more and more things are being attractive to our youth. Cannabis, the nicotine in various forms, alcohol for sure, and other drugs. And of course, non-addictive substances plays a role in addictions as well. So the addictions program is going to really help serve and address both the current and long-standing need in our communities. We were able to bring back to Portage the carpentry and the heavy equipment technician, two trades that we had previously and that were pulled from Portage, but we have them back and we're very excited for that. We just launched the kinesiology program, and we're in talk with the government. We've given them our full proposal for a Bachelor of Education degree that we would deliver in a manner similar to our early learning and childcare program, which would allow for people that are currently working in maybe an educational assistant in the schools or working in other fields, can take the courses towards becoming certified as a teacher, that we can then get them into a teacher role. And I think that's a really powerful program, especially when we have the need for teachers across our communities. And right now, people have to go away to get that training. So help to train in place. And then, of course, the growth of the pre-health sciences. And our ConTED is doing a lot of work, safety training, but we're really looking to ramp that up. And of course, do we have the purple tickets with Elk Point?
We do. We have an MOU with Elk Point giving free seats to council and administration for training in the continuing ed program. So yeah, we do. So maybe Sandy, do you want to talk a little bit about the CALP?
I can. The CALP is Community Adult Learning Program. The intention is to help people with basic skills to improve their education. I can help them with reading and writing from basic levels to about grade 9 level. Help them to prepare for CAPE, which is the Canadian Adult Education Credential. It's replacing the GED, kind of. It's not exactly replacing it, but to help people get their high school equivalency. A second part of my position is to help with digital skills. So I have seniors that drop in on Wednesday afternoons, and I can help them with their phones or their iPads, or help them with their computer skills. It doesn't have to be seniors. It's just they tend to be available at that time of day and want to know how to use their phones. And the third part then is helping newcomers to Canada with their English language skills. So I've been working with a number, and that's my largest group. I've got a communication group on Thursday mornings, and up to 8 people in there. And a big part of it is just giving people an opportunity to speak in English, but also to learn about people in the community and learn about the community. So I think a big part of it is giving them a feeling of connection, of connectedness, and helping them to integrate into the community. And so that's what I'm doing here. No point.
Yeah, so I did on it. That's probably one of the things you wanted to do. And then we thought maybe because we don't actually have a campus beyond the CALP, it'd be important for you to understand all the programs that we have that are blended and available anywhere. And those courses, anybody taking those can also receive support from Sandy if they're having difficulty with their computers or other things. So the programs are there listed. One of the things that we're pretty proud of is that when we offer a lot of these online programs, they are live and they are blended when they need to be. So a lot of labs on site, but a good portion of the work can be taken from anywhere. So those are there for you. Okay. And then maybe I'll let you talk about research.
Now, something really exciting. So we have our Vice President, Academic and Research, Dr. Donna Letichuk, and our Director of Research, Dr. Christina Holguin. I always ask, am I saying that right?
Yep, that's right.
Thank you. Are doing a great job supporting our faculty members that are doing research. And the mandate of the comprehensive community colleges is that you can do research where it's directly related to your academic programs and applied research that has a fit in your region. And so things like agriculture, things like energy and mining, things related to the lakes and the waterways and the forestry are all things that fit under our umbrella of applied research allowances. And so we definitely have some opportunity for some of those questions that we're not looking into, but we definitely have faculty members that are doing a lot of work in that space already. So this slide gives you just some overview stuff, but the bottom bullet there really gives you some examples of research projects that are underway. And of course, we always are asking, how can we work with students? How can we have students involved in the research as well? And so looking to grow the opportunities for our students to be participants there. So some of the examples, the caribou habitat restoration, the societal support inequities in rural Alberta, the Lac La Biche Lake cleanup, using artificial intelligence and the role it could play in improving community safety. And then, of course, we pride ourselves on how we teach and being focused on the learners. And so we have faculty members doing research into foundational learning, as well as the pedagogy of teaching. And so doing research in those spaces.
Yeah, so the reason we thought that's important to share with you tonight is that we know that municipalities often go out to consultants and have studies done. And I think the college does get funding to do research. We have to put in a research proposal. But if there are questions that need to be answered for your community that perhaps could relate to our environmental sciences program, we were talking about the salt plant earlier or other things, just to be thinking about us in those ways. The partner.
We've included for you a very busy chart, but our board approved a new strategic plan that's really going to guide us for the next 10 years. So it's our Voyageurs map to 2035. You can take a look there. We basically are adopting a new mission and vision statement. We've outlined our organizational strengths, and of course, the strengths and the values are around interconnectedness, with our communities. We're living the comprehensive community college mantra more than any other college in Alberta. It's about community and the multiple communities, which include Elk Point, so important to us. So we thought we'd include that slide.
Yeah. And really talking about how can we be a partner in the rural prosperity. You know, this was coming at the time we were thinking a lot about urban migration and businesses going into big urban centers and not in rural. So we want to be a partner in trying to reverse that as much as we can. So new initiatives, maybe?
Do you want to run with this one?
Sure.
I've been doing
Sure. So
the slides.
no, it's so not sure if you've caught the press releases that we put out, but we do have a Northeastern Alberta Collegiate Institute that is brand new. The St. Paul School Division is part of that. And really what it's about is using the knowledge base and the, I guess, approvals that we have around trades, particularly in health, to be able to bring some of that training into the schools. So rather than create a standalone collegiate school in the region, we receive funding to sort of put it in all the schools in the region. And it's varying in the schools depending how we're involved. So for example, here, I think there's some interest in heavy equipment technician. The space already exists in the school. We're helping with the credentialing basically of the instructors and the curriculum, and in other jurisdictions, we're providing the shop and doing the teaching. The degree granting was already mentioned, but one of the things that I'll add is that the education degree is the first degree that we envisioned. It's the first time we've ever offered degrees, and there's quite a bit of work to get there. But the idea for us is to find a new way to get those degrees out in rural Alberta. So Steve mentioned delivered like our early learning and childcare. It's intended to be one course at a time in the evening that working professionals can take, but full-time student can also take it and they'd be able to take their entire course in the same amount of time. It's just that it's one class at a time. And then of course we already took the 3 courses with the Town of Elk Point. That was it for updates from us. And it was really just to get out here and see what questions you might have for us or ideas you might have. And for me to say, see you later. I'm staying in the region, so I'm not saying goodbye. I will be in and about. So any questions or comments or thoughts?
I just wanted to ask, you mentioned that there's about approximately 150 students within the Portage in St. Paul.
Yep.
Is that mostly on campus or is that a combination of campus and online?
It's a combination of them.
Combination?
Yeah. So for example, the academic upgrading and career prep programs are kind of what I'll call blended. So students can take most of the curricula from home. They can be at the campus if they need to be, if they don't have access to computers, but certainly all their exams and things are invigilated at the campus.
Okay.
The nursing program is primarily face-to-face. There is an odd class that they can take that's purely theoretical. And when we do that, we share it across campuses, to keep our cost of delivery down. But I would say it's probably about half and half.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll just add to that. If students are in Elk Point, and because most of the programs are offered online, if they're in Elk Point and need to take an exam, I can invigilate the exam at the library, so I can supervise them doing the exam.
Does anybody else have any questions?
No, I don't think so. I think my questions were a little bit before, but it was more on how the campus in St. Paul is and where it was going to and, what the outlook was. Possibilities. So.
And I think as soon as we have the meeting with the town and the council, there'll probably be some announcements that are coming out, but I think unless somebody comes out of the woodwork very suddenly, it's looking like we will be downsizing the campus. We aren't really downsizing a lot of programming. You might have heard about the culinary arts program, and that one has not really been about the space as much as it's been about the jobs. There hasn't been the jobs in the region for culinary artists. So the program's getting a rebuild so that it meets the jobs in the area. And then until we have a facility, it may operate out of Lac La Piche. And we're not even sure what that looks like yet, because it's
So-
still getting
So
resolved.
just for my own knowledge and
Yeah.
my understanding of Portage itself, is it, are different districts, I don't know the wording exactly off the top of my head, but restricted. So if somebody within the region, a different school or whatever is teaching something,
Mhm.
you don't really overlap, or they have kind of a, I guess, a district that they kind of teach to. So I'm just kind of wondering, is there programming? Like we've always talked in some of the economic discussions that I've talked about was like, say, butchery. Like
Right.
as far as, you know, is there courses that we can do that? Or is there a way of getting that into someplace because of how much it is and the need for that resource to be out there? But I don't know how that is restricted within the schooling and.
Yeah, so as a comprehensive community college, we can offer anything, like even degrees are possible because of that mandate. So that's to be needed in the region. And then what we do, say for butchering, for an example, we would look into what is the ongoing demand versus the capital investment. And if there's a short-term demand, sometimes we can do it through continuing education, or we could partner, like say with Red Deer or somebody like that. Your other question about, I think the terminology we use is stewardship regions. So we do have stewardship regions defined, but there are a lot of partnerships that are going on between the programs across campuses. And one of the neat things that's at really an idea phase right now is that we have a northern partnership. I forget, there's another word in there. It's with Northwest Polytechnic, used to be Grand Prairie Regional, Northern Lakes College, ourselves, and Lakewell College. And what we're doing is looking at what could we do to bring the programming from other institutions into our region so that the people taking the programs don't have to move. So does it mean that Northwest Polytechnic has a program that's face-to-face that we could help convert to a blended format because we've got some knowledge and ability there? And then could it be available to everybody in the region except maybe the labs? You got to go because depending on the program, the labs can be really expensive. But programs like butchering, for example, if it's not a certified trade, those are programs that we can offer through continuing education, but we'd probably need a partner because we wouldn't buy all the equipment for a one-time delivery or once every 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So there are things like that. It requires us to figure out what the demand of this is. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You could maybe explain a little bit more about continuing ed.
Sure.
They've got some programs coming up, but how long do they last? Where are they run? And
Sure. So I still have the college email and I read an email today. So it could be anything from safety training. We do a lot of cultural training, but it also can be general interest. So there's one series I saw on the email today where there's a food one that's happening in St. Paul and in Lac-La-Biche, and they're doing like a hospitality one. We have the one of the top mushroom experts in Alberta works for us, and he does a program that is actually quite mobile. So if there was a group here, we could bring it here even. And it's all about, what are the mushrooms in your area, identifying them, which ones can you eat and not eat and all that. So it can be those kinds of general interest pieces as well.
Always the first.
Yeah. And in the continuing education where we've signed the MOU with the town, I think there's 150 business courses, and those are all self-paced. And you can take out of those 150, you could say, I'm going to take these 6, and they're all around, let's say, specific to leadership. And then you would get a leadership certificate. Most of them are about, I think, 8 hours. Take one course, and then you put 5 or 6 of those together to get a certificate. So we have lots of ability of, as you can imagine, with classes that don't have a lot of labs, that's something that we can move the instructor around. But with labs, we sometimes have to blend it or have it particularly wherever the lab is.
where the mushrooms are growing.
Yeah, the mushrooms are real fun. If you got mushrooms, we could have it here. I'm sure you do.
My lawn's full of them.
You can eat.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So, you know, the contact is there for either Dawn or for Donna. If you have questions about programs, she's the one, and Sandy's here in the community that I hope you know how to get a hold of. But all of our emails are first name, not last name, so it's a way to find us.
Perfect.
And we don't want to contribute to your late meeting.
No.
So if there aren't any other questions, it's been nice meeting you the times I have, and we'll see each other around in the communities.
We thank you for your time and coming in tonight, so.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you. Get out of here. Thank you, everyone. Nice to meet you.
You betcha. Right, Dave.
Thank you. That way, that way.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The agenda. Agenda.
We need a motion to approve that delegation.
Yes. I was gonna wait till we got down to the presentation part, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve
I can make them.
application?
Never sure when it's best, right after, right at the, when it's on the agenda, but
All right. All in favor? Okay, agenda. Do you have any additions? One,
Addition, it'll be under 8H. You'll see under there is interim 3-year operating plan. So we'll need to pass that here. At our operating, guys, one thing we missed at our budget meeting, but we can do that here at this meeting.
okay. All right, does anybody else have anything they need added? No? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
You can make that motion.
Tim? All in favor? All right, no public hearing. Minutes, approval of November 24th, regular council meeting. Any errors or omissions? I saw none, no.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Keep it header, yeah.
Okay. I get a motion to approve. All in favor? December 3rd, special council meeting. That's. We're gonna move those two. All in favor? All right, unfinished business. Yep, water rate.
So in front of you, you have the memo. This is, like I say, at least interesting. I thank the staff for a lot of work they did and can do a comparison. We'll go through here. So with this is reviewing the 2026 water, sewer and wastewater collection is to look at the rates. There was a few motions in the past, as you see, March 24th, and also a delegation on the 23rd, looking at the volumes and those costs as well. And with that though, I just want everybody to understand, you'll see the charts in front of you. One of the things we do want to understand is within our present rate of a 126 every 2 months, that's present when we have a 2025, that water consumption, 40% of it is only for production of water. And you'll see a lot of the water bills are now coming out in the area where the infrastructure needs to be paid for. And so to get the water to the households, you have the water lines and the repairs, and the maintenance that be done on a regular basis. And for that's for the water production, but for those costs to support that, of the $126, 60% of it, $75 to 60 cents in your report is in there, is for maintenance and infrastructure. is that to make sure that those water lines, and thanks, we got Jay here for today, so to make sure that we can keep them. We got breaks, we've got repairs, and we have maintenance we have to do on those systems on a regular basis, as we even seen this last week with our sewer lines, relining it and so forth. So that maintenance is there. The one thing I think people need to understand is not just the production of water, it's the infrastructure there is there as well. The Water Commission that provides water to the town has had an increase, and they got an increase from St. Paul. So there's an increase that's coming on to the town is a 150 to 175 per cubic meter. The increase that we have being applied, we're proposing for the 2026 water rates from 126 to 133. In our case, it is 2 months of production, and it equals to 28 cubic square meters that we have in our system right now, and where our rates are going. So what we did is that we compared with the town of Bonnyville, the town of Fox Creek, town of St. Paul, town of Lamont, thank you, and Two Hills and Smoky Lake. And it was unique. Every community does it differently. So what I ended up doing is looking at their rates, and lots of staff did a lot of hours doing that, looking at their applied water rates and their sewer and their wastewater and also their waste collection. And in comparison with that, we looked at those rates. We took our 25 rates and we looked at their rates and we applied how we do ours to their rates. So do a comparison on their rates and with these towns here as well. So in the comparison of these rates with over the 7 communities, the average, if you compare it to our rate over 2 months, the average is $131.23 of the 7 communities, and that's the 2025 rate. Now, the 2026 rate, we're proposing 133 over 2 months for the 28 cubic meters in that. So I'm anticipating the communities will have increases as well. And we didn't get time for this meeting. We also looked at the smaller communities. We looked at communities, Milleag and Ashmont as well. And their rates are considerably higher than I think they're getting supplied for somewhere else. So their rates compared to ours, we looked at theirs over 2 months would be $287 if you apply it to ours. And their sewer rate would be 91 compared to ours of 65. So the rates are again considerably higher than ours. But what they've done with their rate, and we could look at this in the future, they broke it down where they have a fixed charge for water. So there's a basic fee, and there's a capital replacement fee, and there's also the water supply charge and then the water distribution charge. All that is lumped into our rate. So we have one rate, they break theirs down. That's something we may want to consider in the future. And then people will have a better understanding that the water production, what they're paying for is the beyond water production. They're paying for the maintenance and repair and keeping that system. Right now, our system is self-sustaining. And with this new rate, we've had it before where it's self-sustaining and we still put money into the capital. So we got future replacement and future repairs as well. And I think that's extremely important. Water is important. That's one thing we don't want to have is that we start coming short or we start having a lot of repairs and maintenance. So we want to make sure that money's there to make sure that water system's there and the sewer system's there. One of our most important, valuable. And I think when we went to the conference at AMA conference down there, water's getting more and more important. So it's something that we want to make sure that we're keeping up, and the water is, make sure we are keeping up with that water rate as well. So with this, you see it in front of you is the comparison. I won't go through all the comparisons, but we broke it down and the staff did an excellent job in comparing it to how we're applying to ours. So our increase that we're looking at right now at the 133 is the average, is just on the average, and anticipating that in 2026, the other rates are going to go up as well. We're going to see those rates go up. So with this, and you also the comparison with our 7 communities when it comes to our sewer, and I compare that one. Average was $66.34. Ours is $38. So it's below average when it comes to sewer. So these rates, we're looking at these today. And we're going to look at these to, if you want to, you can apply these rates that go on here. Something we may want to look at, I'm talking to the mayor this morning, is that we look at maybe we can change the structure in the future and do something different. But I guess we'll have a discussion with council and what your thoughts are.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding the rate?
Number one,
You go ahead, Roy.
number one, I don't understand this chart.
Okay.
What is the highlighted yellow?
Which chart, which page are you looking at?
The chart itself. First page. 14.
The multicolored one?
You're talking the comparison?
Yeah.
So that's a comparison of the community. So because the communities, what we end up doing in that comparison community, that's this one here. So you'll see all the communities on there and all the information on there. And with this is that they all have different structures. So we end up doing what you see in red is how we're applying it to what we're doing. So that's what we're doing. So most of these communities are charging per cubic meter that's used. So we charge on a basis of 20 cubic meters per month. And so in order for the measure apples, oranges, we had to take their rates and apply it to how we're doing it. So when you see the red in there on these charts, that's taking their rates and applying it to how we're doing it. So we have a comparison. Because otherwise it would be really hard because there's no one doing the same thing. There is a base that they're doing. Some, it's always something different how they're doing it per month or flat rates, so it's all different across the board. So we had to figure out how do we compare one community to the next. That's what this chart is.
And the yellow, the highlighted yellow is changes. that
Right.
we're
We're proposing,
wanting to
correct.
propose, yeah.
Yes, that's what we're proposing. And if you look on page 16 of your agenda, that's this one here. This will show you the new rates. So on this one page right here, it shows you the existing rates and in red are the new rates. So residents will be going from $126 every 2 months to $133 every 2 months.
And when you take, for example, like Bonneville, they're showing 185 a month
So you look at Bonneville,
as an
they're
example.
showing, yeah, and they have discrepancy, and then they have a service fee per month, and then they have a 281 per cubic meter per month. And then when you add all that up, it's 184, and then that's 1 month, and then it's 184 for 2 months for 28 cubic meters.
So when we're doing like Elk Point to Bonneville, we can see like Bonneville charges their residents $50 more per month than us.
If they consume 28 cubic meters of
This is fantastic information because I know you have a lot of conversations with people and everybody's concerned about every little utility price, and water's no different. And there's always complained it's too high, but we've never had any comparisons. So when you look at the town of Bonneville, which is they're at a far end of their water commission line, Malega and Ashmont, they're at a far end of their water commission line. Like we can be. I think we're a really good spot, comparable to a lot of other people in the range in our region, right?
Did you have a question as well earlier, Jason?
I know I just wanted to point out that I want to thank the administration for all this work because I know it can be easy.
Yeah, our staff, it wasn't me that was working. I had to thank Morgan and Kendra did a lot of work getting the research and trying to apply this. So you have something that you can measure to. Because if we just gave you the information that's on their bylaws, it would definitely not make any sense.
Mm-hmm. No, this is good and it does compare apples to apples, so.
Now, I know I do look at some of these other communities that are lower than ours, but the question is that are they subsidizing their?
And these are remember, these are 2025 rates, proposing 2026. So, and with, I don't know. And we're in a good position, the town of Elk Point, because ours is self-sustaining, is paying for itself, and you want to keep it that way.
Those are the true costs. Yeah, and that's my question on the other ones. You can never know. Maybe they subsidize it with other taxes. It's hard to know.
And we don't want to put ourselves into a situation where we're subsidizing from the taxes.
Yeah.
Water, sewer.
How's the rate go up?
The production of water. So the town of St. Paul, correct if I do this right, the town of St. Paul does production of water. So basically the increase they gave us, we applied it to ours. So that increase has been applied into our rates. So we got increased because they produce the water and they sell it to the water commission. The water commission in turn takes it and sells it to the town.
Rate.
Excuse me,
They sell it to the commission for a guaranteed rate.
for the year.
Yeah,
Right.
and they have to supply their costs and prove that. And have they done that?
Yeah, they did that presentation to the water commission, yes.
What caused that? The increase?
There.
Well, it could be anything from within their own distribution. They're up in costs, could be anything from pumping to anything else.
Yeah, they're on their own budget. They decide at the end of the year what's costing them. But they show us all the figures.
Yeah, they show us all the figures. Yeah, they show us, I think there was some.
Looks okay.
Yep, definitely. There are some debentures and there's some upgrade costs they had and so forth. As everything, everyone's household goes up and costs go up. And it's not a huge increase, but it's an increase and we need to apply the increase to make sure we can keep ours sustainable. So we have to apply that to our own users as well.
So what was I didn't look at it myself for, looking directly for that. The percentage of increase, what was the percentage of increase?
On ours or,
Yeah, this.
The water commission change or?
well, it was.
$150 per cubic meter to 175.
Right.
So is it like 3% or what's the increase?
It's
They never give us the percentage, just.
No, I can give you the range,
25 cents,
25 cents. Yeah.
24, whatever it is,
Yeah.
so.
divided by 150 is almost 33%.
Increase.
Yeah.
That's huge.
150 to 175.
Oh, no, sorry, 16.7%.
Yeah.
That's good.
And when was the last time they, cause I know they had an increase, do they increase every year or?
The year before I was on the water commission and it went up 2 cents a liter.
Minimal,
Yeah, we didn't, yeah.
So
And that was quite a bit more, so I was wondering, why.
I think they changed how they're billing too and stuff like that in St. Paul, if I'm not correct, is it? I don't know.
No, I'm not sure,
I
yeah.
thought there was some changes there that maybe
There's some changes, yeah.
I don't want to put words into the mouth, but that's kind of what I thought I heard was that they were changing it to make it so that it is being, supporting itself.
Mhm.
Before, I don't know if it was,
Yeah.
and now it is, so maybe. So.
Yes.
Well, they talked to the guys that were, they were putting in a bunch of other stuff that I remember yet Parrish was here, we had to say, hey, that's not part of it, not part of it, and worked it back down.
We can look back at the water commission, and see what it was.
Yeah, the presentation we do have, and I can send it out to everybody.
Yeah,
That presentation, what exactly it was, and I think it was maintenance, and there were some debentures that were coming due as well, I believe.
Yeah.
On that as well, so they showed what justification now, so I can send that out to you.
And that's.
The presentation that came out to the water commission. Yeah,
yeah.
the water commission, yes, yeah.
All right, so we have an RFD. Regarding the rate. Do we need to read that out loud or we just do the options?
Here, that council approves the 2026 water and sewer water collection rate as presented. Is one of your options, or that council accepts the information and keeps the rates as they are, or directs administration to restructure. It's up to you. Those are your three options.
I'll make a motion on number one.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing is not mentioned here, which is 28, over 28 cubic meter, what would be the rate? It's not mentioned in here. We should decide on that as well.
The overcharge.
Yeah, the overcharge was currently for water and sewer together $4.20, which we split in 78% and 22%. And I'm proposing it to for $4.50, from $4.20 to $4.50. Which will be split in the same ratio.
So that's not on page 16?
No, it's not there.
Okay.
It does say overuse.
Overuse, it has on here. 20, it says overuse over 20.
Okay, we already split it.
Yeah, we split it, yeah.
Okay.
It's right here. Because I thought all the rates were here, it's on 16.
Yeah.
16.
Okay, it's there.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's there.
my apologies.
No, no problem.
From 328 to 353 for residential.
Yeah, if I add those two, how much is it? 3.53 plus 53 plus square.
136.
So we're going from to 153 now, so.
Oh, that
Oh,
would
to
be-
going to 353 from originally was 228.
yeah,
It was
but
going to 328 to 353.
Yeah, but combined rate is 4.2. Of that, 353 is water. That means 67 cents is for sewer.
So what are we missing on this
That
chart
means
on page
sewer.
6?
Yeah, sewer we are missing here. Oh, 36 cents, yeah.
$1.36 is the proposed for sewer.
Yeah, so. Yeah, you got your sewer here.
$1.29,
7 cents.
1.29 plus 3, 5. 3. No, that one is the basic 28 cubic meters rate, 129 to 136. But overage is not here. Except the overuse for water is here, but sewer is not here.
We don't have
Yeah.
no,
No, because you have no way tracking it.
yeah, we don't have no rate for sewer.
Yeah.
All the rates are here that we have for on page 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just, I guess the summary, just the way I do my math, that assuming that the resident doesn't do any overuse, but just the basic charges that are going to increase will be, my math is $13 more than last year bill per month,
Yes.
$13, that's what I'm
Month,
looking at.
No, $13 per,
That's like with all the charges with the
That's for 2 months
sewer,
$13 for two
on the
2
water.
months, yeah.
Yeah.
Already bill,
Yeah, we do 2 months billing.
just so we're,
for water and sewer everything.
But our current rate is 126 per month.
We're going to 133 on the water
by my,
Give you this one.
bi-monthly.
Look into it. Is our current.
Yeah.
Is our current rate.
Yeah, no,
Is our-
that's our current, yeah, that's on here as well.
We need to
this will be,
decide what will be our future rate.
Okay, so Dwayne, you made a motion for option one. Option one is as directed by council.
Very two.
Two. The council approved the 2026 water, sewer, waste and waste collection rate as presented.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any comments regarding? No? All in favor?
I,
Okay.
These will go, these will go out in, Lynn just waiting, they'll go out tomorrow. And I'll give them their notice of an increase, and these increases won't apply until February. So they get their proper notice, and then we'll bring a bylaw back between them and there, but we need these rates in order to get the notice out and give people proper notice. Everybody's aware, so.
Great.
This non-residential.
All right, next, resolution number 25-638. Bylaw 91625, election signs.
Yes, so this came up in November 24th. We went through a new bylaw for election signs. And one of the comments, and we did make that change, so we did the first reading of it. So you'll see in section 4, we did change it where it says property owner or occupant of the property. I'm going to take either placing or removing signs. So that's the change that's in that bylaw now. So if, with that change, if council satisfied that, we can go through second and third reading. You want to do that change?
Okay. I guess my only question would be, what if they had differencing opinions? Like the property owner and the occupant, if they had a difference of opinion.
I know that's something that I don't think one or the other one, they're probably not going to have it on there.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's something I think that has to be done between the property owner and the occupant.
That'll be there.
Yeah, that'd be their discussion. Yeah.
So we're looking at second motion.
Yeah, second,
reading?
third, reading.
I'll make the second motion for second.
Second. Okay.
All in favor?
And
And then we just have 30.
Yep, third.
I can make that motion.
Jason? Okay, all in favor? Carried.
Bylaw.
All right.
You need a motion to go to third?
Or nominous, but because of this, because we did the first one,
Right.
That's
Right,
when
we did the first one.
Correct, yeah.
doing all of the readings at one time.
Yeah, I had the same question the other day too, or something. Yeah, yeah. That's the question again, and she corrected me. Yeah.
Okay. Get to. All right, new business. College presentation.
with the file for information.
I get a motion to,
I can make a motion to file for information.
all in favor? Okay, MD Foundation, Inside Manor New Build Project.
Also, I can talk about it, but definitely the members that are here, they can add to it. So this is bring forward, there is, unfortunately, there was a gap in that project of $5.9 million. There was a presentation both to the board and to the CAOs and how they make that gap up. There's a number of ways doing it, but 1 million of that 5.9, they're going back to municipalities to support it. So with that, so our original contribution was 221,209.80 was approved previously, and now with the gap, there will be an additional 53,228.29 for a total of 266,142.14. You did do a previous motion before on the previous amount, so we will need a motion. And if you guys want to support this project, but I'll probably let Tim or you guys talk about it if there's anything to add. So.
Yeah, I think that part of that, Dwayne, was they were going after another grant as well. This was some money that was put forward because in order to get going, is that part of the not the step, but
The class. We
yeah.
moved up a class and we had to pay some of that stuff by ourselves.
Mhm.
So we had to prove that.
What, so what class facility is it?
No, it's not the class of facility, it's the class of the project going forward.
Oh, okay.
And we hit that class where we had to put some money in and we,
In order to keep the project going, it's kind of like it's kind of a lag. The money doesn't kick in from the grants and stuff like that until a certain time. So we have to fund to get it going. So we basically it's a loan or
There's bridge funding.
bridge. Thank you. That's the name I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Bridge funding to get us going. And then there is, if I'm not mistaken, there was a thing in there for looking to get that back. There was some money that might be invested back in from the government. They were looking for that to come back, but
So the CEO did send is the bridge funding is included in the 4 million. So it's already included into the budget. So that bridge funding is there. When she did send that to me just the other day. So that's the $250,000 to get that bridge funding so we can get in between the project, getting this project going and get into the new amount.
there's a large gap in there, but they're looking at the way it was explained is that there will be money to fill that.
Mhm.
It's just, it has to be applied for, but before you get the application in and everything gets approved, then you would get that money back. But for right now, it's in order to get the process going, it's that money is what's being asked for.
Okay. You look confused, Jason.
Confused, I know a project of this size. It's as much as you don't want it, the costs will keep going. I just wanted to ask a question to the members on the board, like, what is the timeline? And are we getting any guarantees that there's not gonna be, if there is cost overruns, that they're not gonna come back to the municipalities and ask for more? That's a concern, right?
It's always, I guess, a guessing game and stuff like that. But right now, the way the way we're doing it, there is, again, the terminology of it all. They've gone back to the construction and they're doing a study on it to be able to pull back on some, you know, we want marble tables. Okay, maybe we don't need marble. It's gonna be this. So it's, I don't know what the terminology is, but they're reviewing it to try to save money. So what they're planning on saving to whatever by the time the project goes, it should.
And there is, I think, 2.5 million. Which
Mhm.
it won't take long, I guess, for it to be 7 minutes.
So you're saying value engineering, so
Yes,
they're
thank you.
looking at things that they can cut, so it's similar to progressive design build, they're gonna look at stuff where they've already got things ordered, not ordered, and they're saying, okay, now with this, how can we take another million, and that's what they're doing with the engineering, so they're calling that value engineering.
Yeah, I think there was something to do with balconies or something like that. There was a couple things that they already picked out and said, okay, we can probably shorten that or make it a little less expensive, so.
Yeah, because I know it's definitely a need, project need in the area. Elk Point is contributing, which I don't have an issue. It's just obviously it's gonna be a burden to our ratepayers because we are going in debt to be able to pay our portion. So I want to make sure that we don't have to be doing that again in the future.
Mhm.
Well,
It's one of those things that's for the region, so there was money that came into the community before with our buildings and stuff, and as they are needed.
It'll
There
come
will be
back
coming
its way
back.
again,
It's
yeah.
right now, the region is needing, we all know that there's senior living is becoming more and more of a need, and it's that facility is the oldest and needs to be, like, right now, there's portions of the building inside that can't be used because it doesn't meet standards, because there's no windows or anything like that, and it needs an upgrade badly.
the project is predicted to break even after it's operating, which is huge to me because if we're doing something that's gonna cost us $5 million a year to upkeep, but it's budgeted to break even. And we do our regular contribution to the MD Foundation anyway, so.
So after a certain lifespan, they would have it right at a break-even rate, so.
Yeah, and if the demand is in Elk Point for more units, we're next on the list, I think, so.
Our requisition with our tax notices, it's based on population, is that how that's?
Population and,
Stabilization.
population, something down that. And there's a form that's always been used, but I don't know how it's been set up.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions or comments?
Yeah, where are we getting the money from?
We'll have to go to a borrowing bylaw. We were always planning to do that anyways. So it's kind of good that we didn't do it right last year. So we'll be doing here in fall. We were waiting, and I think we're getting that from the MEP Foundation is their construction timeline and what their cash flow is going to be. So they already indicated to us by April if they can get the first portion. But I think if we take borrowing bylaw, we'll take it out for all of it.
All together.
Yeah, and so that's what we're waiting on. So we just got that the other day, said they would like the money by April. So that gives plenty of time to go to a borrowing on January, February, and get that bylaw in place. And then we get that money to them.
And then hopefully that doesn't change again.
It's always the guess, right?
Right. Okay, so RFD, we have options 1, 2, and 3.
And that's on 42.
Yes.
I'll make the motion to support.
You can read the whole thing out, but it's right here, written in front of you if you want to, Matt.
Where's that one at?
It's on page 42.
42.
Yeah.
Council approved bylaw 9/16/25 election signed by.
No.
Is that the other one?
That the town of Elk Point approved their proportional share of the capital funding commitment of $1 million to the MDU of St. Paul Foundation for the purposes of the Sunnyside Manor expansion project. Further, that the town of Elk Point's proportional share of the commitment be $53,228.49. $1 million represents the upfront commitment of all member municipalities of the MDU of St. Paul Foundation, and the proportional share calculation will be based on established funding formula of equalized assessment values as of November 15th, 2024.
Yes, that's what I was.
Yeah.
That's the one?
Yeah, you did much better. Yeah. That's the motion, yes.
All right. All in favor? Okay. Laverne Wilson Public Library Board appointments.
So with this, we did get received from the county. They did appoint Councillor Shane Smith to be the representative for the county. So we'll have to make a motion from this table is to appoint him onto the Laverne Wilson Public Library for a 1-year term.
Can make that motion.
I just wanted
Oh, sorry.
to question, no, it's okay. I'm going to approve it, but why just the 1 year?
That's what they had in their letters. They must be doing their organizational meeting and they change it each year like we do too, is go through it. Because if he may get reappointed again, yeah, subject to change when the organization meeting once a year.
Because in theory, all are
All ours.
for 1 year, but we
But
move.
when the former counselor, public counselor and myself were appointed, it was to the end of 2028. But
But no, that comment St. Paul does say it's
Okay.
for 1-year term.
okay. Can we get him, Jason's gonna make that motion? Did you say that?
Mhm.
Okay, all in favor? Perfect, carries. Northeast Alberta Alliance for Growth and Opportunities. There you go, there we go, we're gonna remember that acronym.
You remember this, yeah?
Later.
So in front of here, you'll see that we did get an invitation and the town of Vermillion has taken the lead. In previous years, it was Smoky Lake that have taken the lead on this committee. So basically what they're doing is they look for different issues and topics that they want to lobby the government for. And they've listed 3 on here right now: the advocacy for Highway 28 development and improvement of healthcare initiatives. And then the last one is supporting legislation to equalize distribution rates for the different order, because I think that's the honest. And so those are the ones we're looking at. They're actually looking to have a meeting in mid-January. What they have asked in the previous years is that it's been the mayors, and then we have to appoint the mayor if that you wish to do so. The mayors have gone this, and then have an alternate in case the mayors can't be there. In this case, they've also asked if the councils want their chief administrative officer will be attending in these meetings or not. So that's kind of decision you have today, is to appoint Wanda, your mayor, to be on the committee, and then who's going to be the alternative if our mayor can't be there, and if you wish for the CAO to go or not to be attending those meetings. And there's also the membership fee of $1,000 annually.
Great. Do we have a volunteer to be the alternate?
That kind of fits into the step.
Mhm. I can volunteer for that.
I can make that motion and that the CAO also attend.
CAO. It's in here, we didn't actually ask for the,
No, I remember seeing it on there, so we need the alternates. They identify those alternates.
okay,
We'll make sure we put that into the motion.
okay. Dwayne to appoint. We need separate motions for the membership and everything, not separate?
You can if you wish.
Approved already.
Yeah, you can, we could probably, we just need, I just need who, you should approve from ours so that you're able to go, because it's part of that, so we're approving you to attend these, because some communities might opt out.
Right,
So, and then also approving that, that Tim be the alternate, and then also if I attend as well, then it's in a motion. And then we'll need a separate motion if, separate motion would be the expense for the membership. So you can do one motion with the alternate and the mayor and myself attending.
are we good with that? Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was wrong. That was recommendation I read. I thought it was a previous motion. Yeah.
Okay, so Dwayne is moving to appoint myself as a representative, the CAO to attend, and Tim be the alternate.
Alternate, yeah.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, and then we need a motion to approve
The membership,
1,000.
Yeah.
I do have a question on that one, because that's not an annual membership fee, is it, or is it kind of a one-time thing?
Look at it
Before.
it's the annual.
When they first got us going, but I didn't think it was year after year. I think they got a big influx
Yeah,
because they needed some money to get the organization going, but then I'm just curious, is this a one-time payment or are they looking to have year over year?
We can clarify that.
It does.
I read it's annual,
It says here membership fees.
membership fee.
Annually.
Annually, that's what I read too.
Oh, okay. I'm fine on that, just want some clarification on it,
Mhm.
and I can make the motion.
great. Jason made that motion. All in favor? Carried. Okay, stars.
So in front of you, you have a letter and a request from the Stars, and they're looking for a contribution for the Stars. They do have some statistics in here and how many flights they've had over the years coming out of Elk Point in this area. And Stars part of this. You can see in here, they give you a number of options per capita, and $1 per capita or $2 per capita, or an amount, a flat amount you've done in the past. In the past, you have done in 2024 budget. In the past, there was $500. So in 2022, you gave them $500. In 2020, it was $500. 2018, sorry, 2018, 500, 2019, 500. And then in 2023, 500. But there wasn't a donation for 2022 or 2020 or 2021. So that's up to council if you do want to support the Stars or if you want to accept this information.
Any thoughts?
Does it go straight to operating or what is it for? We don't know really what that donation is.
No, the municipalities that do support it and they provide donations, and I think they work off of donations as well and other government contributions. So that's what they're asking here to help support the program. And you guys have or haven't, so half the years did get 500, the other half the years you haven't, so.
Because I know we usually have the emergency service, it's called tournament, which in the past has given to Stars and everything else like that. I'm just kind of wondering how that.
But I think they've changed that, have they not? No longer. Is it still emergency services?
It is still emergency services, but they're not partnering with Stars
Stars.
because of the contributions they get. So now it just goes straight to the emergency services community.
Now, we discussed this over the last few years, and because of that Stars tournament down here that we supported, we did give them extra money, but now that that isn't there, maybe we should look at the 500. 8 or 9 times a year for sure. That's what it says. I would have guessed more.
I would have guessed the same thing. I was really shocked when I saw that.
I would have guessed 15 if I had.
Yeah.
It's definitely a needed service.
Yes,
And it's, yeah.
I'll make a motion, we donate $500.
I was also surprised, and I had discussed this with Daryl this morning, that why is this hospital in St. Paul not considered to be within
County.
the county?
I read the same thing, so yeah. Because they do list it.
Because we're the only hospital, according to Stars, in the county of St. Paul.
I'm sure they'll have their own, yeah, okay, that's, probably,
Unless
Take on their-
in Stars' eyes, we're operated by the county of St. Paul, I don't know.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so Dwayne made a motion to donate Stars $500. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. All right, North Saskatchewan Watershed Alliance.
You see the request is North Saskatchewan Watershed Alliance requesting the town of Elk Point to renew its contribution of $705 for 2025-2026 fiscal year. North Saskatchewan is really close to us. I think we've been part of this, and so that this is coming forward. As you can see, is what past donations have been in 2024. 705, 2020, 726, and 2018, 823. So again, this is in front of you. They're basing this on per capita as well, 60 cents per capita. That's on page 65.
Well, that one I know was a hit and miss. We never supported it all the time.
No, it did in 2018 and in 2020 and in 2024.
And the discussion last year that we did it was 2024. And the reason being is what you said, it's right beside us here. We should support.
Mhm.
And they just got themselves a new status, being that they're their new heritage river site with in the eyes of federal government. And I know there's some more promotion of the river. I think that was our conversation, that we should be supporting it because it's there's more of a heavy focus on it nationally wise, right? So tourism is a big opportunity in that rounds. And so,
And you see, when we were down the conference, like water is a big issue,
yeah.
becoming a bigger issue all the time. More so down south than here, but it's going to be a bigger issue, water.
What do they, I guess, just a reminder is what do they do?
They did give, they say have, they did put a annual report in here on different things that they do. Why municipalities support them, and the state of water report, water management roadmap, repairing web portals, and they have some building drought resistance and working with the communities. The biggest thing, bringing the communities together and how they can work together. And because our water directly comes from the North Saskatchewan River and we're dependent on it. That's a big one for us.
Mhm. They are willing to come out and present to us if we so chose.
I think that would be a good idea, actually.
Do we wait until they present to us to, like, when do they need to know by? Does it say?
It doesn't say, but I think we can do if council wishes to, do the 705 and then request them to come and do a presentation. And they do say they will do that. And I think that would be healthy regardless.
It'd be nice to know exactly how it's applied, like you're making donations, but if it's not, again, if it's not meeting or, kind of hitting a standard or hitting what we view as being beneficial, then
Mhm.
I think that's probably why most times there's fluctuation in the donation type thing.
Mhm. Okay. So do we want to have them come and present? Do we want administration to reach out?
I would say have them reach out and then have it bring it back.
And then talk about the rate then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It isn't a big dollar, but it is.
Probably having them, because again, they do talk about a lot of stewardship, so we have our wastewater does eventually actually goes through the system, feeds back into the North Saskatchewan, so making sure that we're on par with them, and then they might be able to provide us more information on other projects and how we can be better off doing it too. There might be opportunities, and that's the only way to discover that is the conversation, so. Yeah. I can make the motion if nobody made the motion yet.
Motion for them to come and present. Okay.
And I guess we can discuss the membership at that time.
Sure.
Okay, Jason made that. All right, all in favor? It's carried. Assessment Review Board appointments.
Yes, this is so council appoint a regional assessment review board membership at large and regional assessment review board clerk. So you'll see in the motions that council appoint Don Schultz to the regional assessment review board from December 8th to 2025 to December 7th, 2026, and that council appoint Morgan Nelson and Kendra Longrad as regional assessment review board clerks from December 8th, 2025 to December 7th, 2026.
Okay, am I also in there?
This is the assessment.
No, this
This is your subdivision.
yeah.
Regional. Yeah.
Okay, I guess my question again then would be 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just hang on, I'm on assessment. I took the course.
but this is members at large, is it
These
not?
members at large,
And then
your council.
Oh, okay.
Because I think we approved you at our organization.
Yeah, I have to take those course, I've taken their.
We approved the authorizational meeting. These are approving the members at large.
Need those two separate motion.
Separate, yeah.
I can make the first one for Don Schultz, the member at large at the Regional Assessment Review Board.
Okay, Jason. All in favor?
I can move the second one for Kendra.
Morgan? Okay, all in favor? Perfect. All right. From
I'll send this over to Mayor.
We have 3 years operating plan, just besides the budget in 2 pages here. Space is the revenue and second is the expenses, and at the bottom you can see the surplus showing. In 2027, the surplus is $266. In 2028, the surplus is $334. And in 2029, the surplus is $200. It is based on, we added the only 50% and combined by other thing. If we recognize some event is happening, otherwise we keep the same amount of the all other expenses. And mostly budget with balance, the bottom line is our transfer, which might be increased or decreased in some couple of first 2 years it is increased. And last year it has been decreased. This is not the final because we will do every year.
It's an interim. Passing 3 years. We passed one, but it's times it's passing a 3-year interim budget.
And as municipal government act, it is necessary to submit 3 years operating, but it is not necessary to submit it with the preliminary. But as per our practice, we did that previous year. That's why we bring it in here.
okay. Anybody have any questions, comments?
I did have one question. I should have brought it up at our special council meeting on December 3rd, but I do see the debt principal payments, and we are still paying down a debt for this year.
Actually, we paid out extra this year in 2025, and we don't have any more.
That was my understanding, but I just do see that we have it in the budget of debt principal payments of $119,000.
No, we paid actually more than that. We paid $169.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, $269,000.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and we don't have any more to pay out. It's zero now.
Would that come off of that proposed?
Yes, it did. If you look into the bottom line, the debt principal payment
Yeah,
is in 2026 is 119,800,
yeah.
and for the next following 3 years it is zero.
Okay, so we still have to pay 2026.
Like, I thought we were done paying it in 2025.
2025, oh, sorry, 5. This is the debenture amount, but we paid the loan amount to the
Of the industrial park or,
no, service credit union.
oh, yeah.
We have a loan, had a loan amount. We used to pay every year 100,000.
That was the water, wasn't it, Toy?
Yes, I believe so.
Water, the end of the water thing, or was it something else? For that debenture. For some reason, I'm thinking.
Wasn't the debenture the lots,
Yes, for the lot, it was, we.
the north end?
Well, could be. For some reason, I was thinking it was.
It's the end of all, some of the lots. And now it is free. We can anytime release those lots, for that 150,000 we paid out.
Mhm.
And the debenture for the water, this is water reservoir debenture, will be paid out in 2026.
Okay.
Questions or comments? None? Can I get a motion to approve the interim 3-year operating plan? Okay. Okay, manager of operations.
Very patient and very quiet, so yeah.
My time in the light.
Yeah.
A couple things to note here, you probably see in some of our capital costs going forward here, we are looking for some money for some upgrades on some of our equipment. This equipment is very expensive and we're finding we're better off trying to catch up on some of the repairs here now, create a little longevity in it. A grader I know is a $550,000 machine, and going forward, we're looking at getting inspections done on our equipment, finding out what the costs are to bring it up to good working condition. So we got that going on here right now. We did have regen system on our excavator also that was in need. So big ones is our grader and sweeper and excavator. Sweeper is a very mechanical machine, always moving parts, and we've done good. It's a 2013. So we've done good to make it last this long. But it needs a major rebuild on the elevator and everything that's in there. So that's what we're kind of working on there right now. We did have some problems with our grinder. You see some pictures there of the grinder. We pulled it up, and that's not dental floss in there, just so you know, in case you're wondering. Not that, but it is a machine that grinds all any solid, bigger material coming into the lift station there right now. We had to pull up and do some maintenance on that. Full update on the lining going on downtown. All repairs have been done now. As far as repairs to the pipe itself, we still have to do the full lining going through it, but all the repairs are now completed. So that makes me sleep a little better, because there was a chance that it could collapse. It was always a worry for us, but looking like next week, they're gonna try and not disturb residents and businesses. They're gonna try and do it in the middle of the night.
Okay,
Yes, so we will be going around to the residents and telling them there will be some noise with the suction truck and stuff, doing a whine, of course, all night. But they have to do that to get installed, and they don't want to disrupt anybody else.
appreciate that.
They're gonna, yeah. A lot of it is they're doing why they're so late in the season here, so.
What did they do on the Wednesday with people at home and?
Pretty decent on the residential end, maybe not so good. The business end of it was good.
Okay.
Yeah, the residential end, there was a little bit of fighting with getting stuff installed in there. Because people were still trying to do laundry, do everything else, even after we gave them letters and talked to them.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a better option to do it in the middle of the night, especially in the downtown area where the businesses are. Try and get it done. Nobody will be
The
getting
daycare, I know the daycare had to shut down because of
Yeah,
that.
I appreciate them. They were very understanding. They were very understanding. That's one of the reasons why we're trying to work around them to interrupt their business again.
And then how long do they think to do the lining will
One
take?
for each section, 1 day for each section. So they're planning tentatively for Monday, Tuesday. But that's tentatively right now, depending on the weather. It's supposed to be warmer on the Monday, Tuesday, but it'd still be minus 30. But yeah, and that's kind of the highlights of the report here right now. Any questions, I'll take them for sure.
What is the average hours, Jay, that for the grader and stuff like that, just for?
The grader, most of our hours would be in the winter. It's very dependent on the winter. I would say we're probably looking at pretty close to probably 800 to 900 hours a year.
Mhm.
You know, very dependent on the weather. Like, the majority of the time it's working is in the winter,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, the sweeper, you'd probably be looking at 400 to 500 hours.
What's the longevity of those things that they on a, different pieces of equipment? It's, they say it's good for, 5,000 hours. Or
Yeah.
might be good for 8,000 hours.
If you keep it maintained, it can be, but there's gonna be things that wear out, like the grader, it's stuff, it's the guides and the wear plates and everything else. It's the normal wear and tear. So the usual, if you keep it parked, it will never wear out.
Right.
And never use it, it'll never wear out. But grader, we had it down as a 20-year replacement on there, but to me, it's still a good machine.
How many years is it?
2006 it was.
So 26 would be a 20 years.
We've been replacing it coming up in this year. We kept it on the plan of the way it was. Sweeper is 10-year. We went over that now.
Yeah.
We've painted it. So, as long as the main drive in it is good. The grader is the drive, everything's good, transmission, everything's good. So we like to maintain everything around it. We can put some money into it and still have a pretty good machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was with the hours and stuff like that. Like we're, I guess, fortunate that we had some years that we didn't have a lot of snow.
And kudos to the guys. We maintain it. Like every Friday is our maintenance. We look after, we change everything that needs to be done and keep it up. The sweeper, there's not much you can do. It's constant wear. It's constant moving, constant drag.
You can tell by the noise it makes.
Yeah, you can see the rattle like that. Yeah, she do the elevator, getting some holes in it there. So let's see that we rebuild it and we can do that very cost effective. Okay, right now. That machine too is a $400,000 machine.
Yeah. Nothing's cheap.
No, everything has went up crazy in the last year.
Yeah, I would have expected more for the grader.
Actually,
550?
Yeah.
Oh.
10 years ago, like 250, 300, yeah.
When we bought the machine in 2006, it was 185,000.
And then it was brand new.
Yeah, it was brand new.
Yeah.
any resale value on the grader now?
Oh, there would be.
There would be, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Yeah. Like, but you talk to the companies and stuff, they're finding more business on the inspection end of it. Guys are rebuilding them rather than buying new.
Replacing them, yeah.
The cost of equipment just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Is
100%.
have you done that look of saying we'd sell it for X amount, we'd have to spend X amount, where's that break even or that?
I haven't done that. No.
Just kind of wondering on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I haven't done that. Don't think it's gonna be worth it myself, but that's my own opinion. I think you're far better to put $20,000 or $40,000 in that machine rather than pay that $550.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that I know we're going through Evergreen as well, places that you're needing to replace, and it's like, do you replace or not? So then you do the evaluation, we're gonna get whatever, 200,000 for this, and it's gonna be whatever, so we're really only paying 300,000 or.
Basically, you're seeing the trend, like you look at what we talked about, me and Daryl talked about the garbage thing. You look what happened with the county. Too expensive to buy that truck, so you contract out again.
Yeah.
We got a garbage truck coming up in that same situation that we had it rebuilt.
Yeah.
Mention in January, we're gonna have conversations, yeah.
I think that was definitely a conversation we had too, with maybe trying to see what St. Paul needed as well or whatever, right? Yeah, no, I know you guys do a heck of a job with it, just trying to get a mind of it.
Yeah, no, that's no problem.
Any other comments, questions for Jay? No? Okay, no animal control?
Still want to hear about cats again.
On about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do the recreation and then do all three of them, or do you want them separate?
You do all three, you
All three?
Yeah, no problem with that.
Okay. Any questions or comments regarding the recreation? Extravaganza wasn't as bad as it has been in the past, that's for sure.
Still cold.
It was still cold, but
I know the Lions, they gave out, they had 230 hot dogs and they could have given out more, but that was, so there was a lot of people out.
yeah,
So You know, they'll plan for more hot dogs next year, but
Yeah. And I was surprised at how many people were along the parade route, more so in the downtown area. Some of the other areas were a little.
there, that's where you want them.
Yeah.
You want them downtown, so.
Yeah, so.
It's, well, I know we'll have to hear a conversation with the chamber, see how well the business side of it was, because that's what's the whole driving goal with it, but people were out, so,
Fireworks for good.
yeah.
So. All right. Can I get a motion to
I
approve?
can make the motion properly.
Okay, thank you, Jason. All in favor? All right, committee minutes and reports, MG Foundation.
Kind of hit on the big thing.
Yeah.
I think that's,
December 30th one, so
yeah.
the other minutes I just got today, so I'll have to bring them the next meeting.
You guys meet monthly?
I don't think there was nothing else.
No. I think there was, because we did a meeting twice last month, I think, because of the requisition and finalization of knowing what we needed for grants and, or what we had for grants and what the go-ahead was gonna be and the actual announcement. So
And then there was an orientation.
orientation meeting in there as well.
Yes, organizational meeting was on the 6th, so we got two here. We got the one on the December 30th and November 6th orientation.
I
It's
think
one
just
new.
one new one. Yeah.
That would be the mayor of St. Paul.
Yeah. Other than that, usually it's once a month on the 25th, usually.
Yeah, we're right around 25th, 27th, this Tuesday of last week.
Oh, okay. All right, well, would one of you like to make the motion to approve the? In favor? Carried. Okay, correspondence. Alberta Major Sports Events Grant Program and the National Police Federation letter. To file for information.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to file for information.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Acknowledgements and concerns from mayor and councilors. We have the appointed District Chamber of Commerce extravaganza.
so there's one, yeah, go ahead.
There's no attachment, we're just.
No,
Okay.
so these are, or council has any concerns or change it from acknowledgements and concerns.
Okay.
So, because the last time we had a couple of gentlemen, one person that had the
Right.
same, and so we thought, definitely we added in here is the Point District Chamber of Commerce did an excellent job with the extravaganza. I think we're very pleased with all the partnership in the community, all community organizations, people are involved, so.
Yeah, kudos to the chamber because it's a large event, it's a lot of work and, you know, volunteers are limited, so thank you to them. We don't need a motion on anything
No.
there? Okay, and then our council timesheets.
I think that's till the end, right?
November.
It's, yes.
That's just for information. We don't need a motion on that either, do we?
No.
No? All right. With that, can I get a motion to go into closed session?
803, I can make that motion.
Jason? 03. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back. Thank you for your patience. At 8:53, Tim made a motion to come out of closed session. And we just need to wrap up with a few motions. Personnel issue.
Receives information.
Yes, Jason made a motion to receive for information. All in favor? Carried. Okay, personnel town employee benefit plan. Recommendation was to go with option 1. And Tim made that motion. All in favor? Carried. Lot 7, block 46, on 192-1636. Dwayne made a motion to direct administration to arrange a meeting with the property owner. All in favor? Okay, and last one, land, lot A, plan 3639 TR. Dwayne also made a motion to go with option 1. Am I going too fast?
No.
No, okay. All in favor? Carried. And just before we adjourn, I would just like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, all the best of the new year, and may your holiday season be filled with family and friends. So, meeting adjourned at 8:57.